Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Day 6, alhamdulillah. We're going to carry on with Surah Nas today. And it's a very useful practice to slow down with the letters, appreciate the letters. We might remember once upon a time when we were small, we probably went to a class or something and we tried to learn the letters of Arabic. And it's possible we didn't really get them. And so it's important just to give them all their time and appreciate them. And we'll start as normal. Just notice where your breath is. Give yourself, let's invest 10 seconds in your breath today. I don't have a timer, so you'll have to guess when 10 seconds are. Take your time, man. Notice your breath coming in, notice it coming out. I would read the dua for protection from all these distractions and shaitan and all his friends. You ready? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم من الشيطان الرجيم. Remembering there's no race here, there's no hurry, you're not trying to prove anything to anyone. This is a practice. Curiosity is what we need here. Not like a desire to control everything. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. You remember to breathe, and just we're going to notice just that last word again. Nir-Rahim, yeah? Remember to breathe. Nir-Rahim. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I'm going to move on to the verse we did yesterday, which was من شر الوسواس الخناس. Good. You might need more practice. If you need more practice, you can go to yesterday's recording and take a look a bit deeper into that. Moving on to the next verse. الذي ذي. Good. You're very likely to get stuck on that the because it's very common to not appreciate that. It's a very, very simple letter. It's the same as a'udhu, val. Yeah, so your tongue comes forward. And your tongue basically just touches the bottom of your top teeth. It's so simple. There's no force required at all. Sometimes we get a bit scared and we're not sure what to do. But it's just the tongue coming forward. Practice the letter. Take your time. Va, va, va. Good. And if you're struggling and if you can notice some unconscious energy here, just notice where the tongue goes. Like, as opposed to forcing your tongue to go in exactly the right place, notice how you currently say this letter. So I'm going to say it, you try and copy, and then I don't want you to try and, follow the rules here. Just try and notice what happens to you. Va, va, va. Good. And, if there's any tension there, if there's any, unconscious energy there, hopefully it's just a bit softer now. So now, the... Same thing with your tongue. Again, noticing at first. The الذي. Good. And you're allowed to, that lam's got a shadda, so you're just allowed to hold the origin of the lam for a second, meaning you should be aware of what the lam's origin is, where your tongue goes for that. Now I'm not going to tell you where your tongue goes for the lam, because you can just figure it out by practicing lam. Notice where your tongue goes. And remember to breathe. There's no race. Take your time. Listen to the birds for like 5 seconds or something. Like just take your time with figuring out the lam. Lam. الذي ذي الذي. Good. And this is a little bit of a difficult word, so I wanted to spend a bit of time on this word again. And it should come a little bit more naturally the more you practice, but it will require practice every time. الذي. Good. Giving time to all the letters, slowing down, nothing to be scared of. Now what I'm going to do with this word is, now you're a bit more comfortable with all the letters, I want you to just not think about it too much. الذي. Good. We're going to go on to the next word. يوسوس. Good. You might notice the ya at the beginning. You might be tensing your mouth a bit too much on the ya. You don't need to do that. You, soft. You, was. The waw is actually a round letter. Yeah, there's 2 types of letters. We'll probably kind of half covered this. We'll get more and more deep into this as we progress and get more and more advanced. But some letters are round, some letters are flat. Yeah, and this round and flat refers to the lips. If it's a round letter, the lips go round. So waw is a round letter. Obviously the fatha on the waw makes the waw a little bit flat. So wa, when you say the origin of waw, it's round. Wa. But then when you say the fatha, when you put a zabar on it, or the fatha, or whatever you call that line on top of it, that will, when you say that, your lips will become a little bit wider. So just, you might be a little bit too much to take in, but don't worry about it too much. But just notice, was. So you go from round to flat, because the scene is a flat sound as well. So, was. Good. Wisu. Good. So for here, if there was a map for what your lips should be doing, waw goes round, then flat onto the fatha, flat on the scene, and then the waw is round again, we, but the kasra makes it flat, and then the scene is kind of round by the scene is a flat letter, but because of the dhamma is going to be a round sound. Just try and keep your lips, bringing that consciousness to the lips as well, because the lips they play a big part in all of the letters. So now let's come back to this word here, remembering to breathe. Yuwaswisu. The ya is round as well, by the way. Yuwaswisu. الذي يوسوس. Good. So anyway, I don't want you to, what happens sometimes when we learn that some letters are round, some letters are flat, we just start getting really worried about, reading them all round and flat, and we just confuse ourselves. There's a whole art to learning which letters are round. Like you may have heard that, for example, the kha is a round letter, the ghain is a round letter, the sad, dad, ta, lots of round letters, and some of them are flat letters. But if you just get too confused with them and start worrying, then it becomes difficult. So here, just for this one word, yuwaswisu, and I'm just getting used to that. There's some letters when your lips should be flat and kind of wide and smiling, and some of them they should be rounded. So we'll I don't want to break the 10-minute mark, so we'll carry this on tomorrow. But I think this is a really good just half a sentence to practice for today, and getting used to the lam, giving time to the letter, the dal, bringing consciousness to your lips a little bit today. That's quite an important thing. And you'll know that whenever somebody teaches Quran, these birds are scary, whenever someone teaches the Quran, they'll tell you that some letters are round, some letters are flat. And just keep that in mind as a concept, and we will build on this. We'll learn all the round letters and all the flat letters as we go on through. We're not missing out on any of the very, very essential rules which have been put down by the scholars of reciting the Quran, inshallah. See you tomorrow, man.